Every time our spirit enters back into the earthly realm, we are starting the next stage of our learning experience whilst venturing through the university of life called the earthly realm. I realized that in the discourse online, there's a lot of thinking and philosophizing around, do we choose to come here? Do we choose the life? Or do we not choose the life? I don't think that our spirits has a consciousness in the same way that we have a consciousness whilst we are in the earthly realm, at least as we experience it. From my understanding, speaking to my spiritual teacher, and also sitting in meditation and in communion with my guides, it is more that we are simply moving through a learning queue for the ever continuing expansion and learning and growth of our spirit. So it's not like we sit down with like either a Primark magazine or a Vogue magazine and then choose the life that we are going to enter into. It is simply where we are in our learning queue, and this just happens automatically. It is not necessarily that we have a quote unquote choice as we would like to think that we do in the earthly realm. I mean, who knows where the beginning of and end of free will begins and ends? Who knows? I don't know. At least there is a feeling of free will, but we might also just be the conditioning and of our culture and our spirit and the path of life and so on and so forth. I at least hope there is a modicum of free will in there anyway. Okay, my intention and purpose with this video and my aim and my hope is to say, the main message is to say that I think it's really, really important that we do our utmost ability to embrace our soul's journey and try to look at our life through that lens, that our life is on a soul's journey. And that journey, it will have valleys, it will have peaks, it will have really bad weather, it will have amazing weather, and so much out of that is out of our control. Weather just happens. Um, Bad things, quote unquote, bad things happens to good people all the time. I never think when something happens to me, I don't allow myself to think, why me? Because that is a victim mindset. It's much better to ask, why not me? It is happening to everybody else, so why shouldn't a quote unquote bad thing also happen to me? It will happen, and that is just a natural part of life. I think that where our potential free will kicks in is, how do we respond to whatever happens to us? How do we take accountability and also responsibility for that, our mindset, how we choose to spend our time, money, and energy? That's where our free will comes in. I do think also, though, that sometimes people do their utmost ability and it still doesn't work. So I also wouldn't want anyone to feel shame or guilt when they feel that they have tried everything and all the cards are stacked against them. To them, I can only say that I really feel for you. I send healing, I send love. You know, there's loads of people around the entire planet who are going through wars, famines, discrimination, and other really horrible experiences. And I think that, it's unto us who perhaps are more lucky and privileged to live in places where that is not happening to us. And how can we be a healer, a helper, someone who supports, someone who helps those spirits that are going through a much more difficult life? That doesn't mean that we should carry the responsibility of the world on our shoulders. That will only lead to burnout and despair. However, I would encourage you again to always remain hopeful and to help those spirits, to support those spirits that are going through a difficult time. So my encouragement with this video and this message is to say, embrace the journey if you can. Look at life through the lens of it being a journey, and never to become too attached to any outcomes. Do your best and then allow your path to unfold in whatever way that it will. Sometimes there will be valleys, other times there will be peaks, and that is just lifing. There's no curse, there's none of that stuff. We just have to do our best and allow everything else to unfold. And sometimes that's really crap. But in those moments, we have to ask our friends, our family, our community for support and ask for it, and just keep on going and do the best with the cards that you have been given, and support the people around you who may be going through a difficult time, and perhaps even be able to help them change their perspective and how they view the challenges that they are going through in their life. I hope that you found this message useful, healing, and if you did, please do hit that like button, subscribe button, and if you want to receive more messages like this, I make loads of different content from a spiritual perspective and just from a life perspective. If you want to learn more from me, again, hit that like button, subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.